Ross and I just got to Oklahoma. We've been grinding it out late season in Iowa. Ross has been hunting with the muzzleloader. I've been hunting with my bow. But the season closed yesterday. We went out with a fight, both of us, eating our tags this year, but we're excited to be down here in Oklahoma. I made it a priority this last off season to do a bunch of door knocking and asking for permission down here in Oklahoma, trying to find a piece of private ground to hunt. And I knocked on a lot of doors. Got turned down a lot, but I got permission on one. And that's all it takes, and that's where we're at today. Forever grateful for the landowner that is allowing me to come in here and hunt these deer. He's got a 80-acre piece here that has been in his family for a while, and nobody's hunted it for a few years. So I came down this summer and set up a couple of feeders and some cameras just to see, what's around. And so I've been feeding these deer for 5 months now. It seems like about once a month I'd make the long drive down here and fill the feeder, and this is my first time hunting. I've kind of waited until everything else was closed, and I knew this season ran a little later, so we got 5 days here. We had several good bucks throughout the fall on camera. Unfortunately, a handful of them have disappeared since the rifle season, but there's still a couple nice ones around here that have been in here pretty frequently. Ross and I got down here earlier this morning, came in, changed out some batteries in the cameras, and topped off the feed. So we should be sitting pretty here for the next 5 days of hunting. We got snow on the ground, which is pretty rare for down here. We're hunting bare ground back in Iowa, and we're hunting snow in Oklahoma. It just doesn't seem right, but we'll take it. It's absolutely beautiful in here, sitting in the timber. We've got probably 3 hours till dark. We're gonna sit tight, and got a lot of tags in my pocket and a lot of arrows in my quiver. It's gonna be a fun trip. His attention is elsewhere so I can draw. He's torched. He's going down right there. Sit tight, they don't have a clue. Well, that escalated quickly. Fun first night in Oklahoma, fun first sit for Ross behind the camera in Oklahoma. So let's go pick up some arrows and go pick up some deer. There's a dead deer laying right there. I think that's the buck. Yeah, dead buck. The blood trails kind of crossed each other. We must be on the doe trail, but the buck's laying dead over here. So we're gonna keep going down this trail, find the doe, and then come back to the buck. Alright, we just found the buck. The reason I'm whispering is we ended up finding a couple beds on that doe's blood trail. So we're not 100% certain if she's dead or not. We kind of been tiptoeing around in here. We seen the buck laying dead, but we found those two beds, and I don't feel great about it. So we're gonna end up backing out on her, I think, for the night. We dropped a pin on those beds, and what we're gonna do, because I think she might be close to us, is drag him back closer to where we came in from, and then we'll prop him up and show him to you guys. But that's what we got going on. A little bit of a circus. We got the buck in our hands, and hopefully we can find that doe in the morning. I don't know, I felt great on the shot, but it must have been a touch low or a touch back. Did you get that on film? Yeah. Now he's got no antlers. Well, it's January 11th here. We're in Oklahoma. And we had a pretty good sit tonight. We ended up seeing, I don't know, quite a few deer. This buck here was at the top of the list. He was the best buck we had on camera after the gun season's down here. And he was definitely the buck we were in here after tonight. And we shot him, and he ran probably 100, 120 yards maybe, and tipped over. Oh, we waited in the tree because we had some does coming. Ended up shooting a doe. Thought I hit her really good. We followed the blood trail. Actually brought it right past him. Like, we walked past him, and we ended up finding two beds on that doe's trail. So we with blood in them. So we decided to, we're just going to leave her lay overnight, look at the footage, and make a decision. We'll probably just look in the morning, but I don't know if the shot was a touch low or touch back, but I didn't like the fact that she bedded twice and got up and walked out of that second bed. So we came back to get the buck, and we were going to drag him out of that area so we didn't disturb that doe if she was close. And Ross grabbed one of the antlers and popped it right off. I think he popped the right side first. And then we ended up dragging him by his hind legs, leaving the other antler on. And we got him back here a little closer to the road, stopped to do this interview, went to flip him over, and the other side popped off. I don't know if this snowstorm here kind of shocked these deer and stressed them to where he was this close to dropping. I mean, we're pretty lucky that we killed him tonight, because he might not have had antlers tomorrow. I mean, these were super close to coming off. But just a nice Oklahoma 8. He kind of sat real wide, something like that there. But the more we look at this deer, I kind of figured he was maybe a 3-year-old. But the more we look at him, he's got a big old noggin on him. we'll have to pull the teeth on him and send him in, see how old he is. But we got the buck down. I don't feel great about leaving that doe overnight, but I feel like it's the smart thing to do. So we'll come try to find her tomorrow, and I still got some more tags in my pocket, so we're on the board.
As the 2024 internship comes to a close, Hayden and I have grown in our videography, photography, and editing skills.
Both Isaac and myself have experienced some really cool hunts, not only behind the camera, but both him and myself were able to harvest animals this year. I shot a bear, he shot a deer, and we got to capture both Mike and Ross's successes this previous season.
If you are looking to apply for the 2025 internship, there will be a link below in the description where you can send your cover letter and resume. Applications are due by March 3rd of 2025.
It's day 2 here in Oklahoma. First morning hunt. Had an awesome hunt last night. Ended up punching a buck tag, and then I shot a doe. Thought I hit her good, but we ended up tracking her and found a couple beds with blood in them. So we made the decision to back out. We ended up getting the buck out of there as quietly as we could, and we're back this morning. We figured we were gonna come look for this doe fairly early, so we wanted to we're just going to the other end of the property, and we're gonna sit, got a ground blind in here on another spot, so it's actually closer to where that doe was headed. So we're gonna sit this blind for an hour or two this morning, and then go look for that doe. So that's the plan. Hopefully we can have another good hunt this morning, go find that doe, and maybe pop another one. We'll see how it goes. Day 2, Oklahoma. Let's get in the blind. Well, that's gonna be a wrap on the morning hunt here. Pretty slow. We did have 2 does and 2 fawns come in, but they were pretty skittish. They kind of hung out over here to the left of the blind. Ross could see him plain as day, but I would have had to probably drop to my knees and try to shoot that direction. I just didn't feel like forcing anything, so they fed for a little bit and worked back to the north, I'm assuming to bed. But I think we're gonna call it a morning here and go try to recover that doe. We're just gonna head to where we stopped last night, and hopefully that we pick up some blood. It was getting pretty tough last night, just because we didn't have great lights, and it was getting in an area where it was like 50-50 snow and bare ground. So we're gonna see if we can't get this doe recovered. We just kind of been following blood. Hasn't been easy, but mostly because the snow's melting. So anytime we get in a spot where there's no snow, we lose it. But we've been hearing a bunch of birds here to the south of us. And I'm pretty sure I just seen a bunch of them like dive bombing the ground. She's gotta be up here. I mean, it's where the trail was headed, so we're just gonna ease down there and I got a pretty good feeling she's laying there dead.
I mean, I guess the takeaway here is, unless you see them fall, don't assume anything. Like, literally the last clip Ross got of this deer, she was like wobbling. We thought she went down just after he lost sight of her with the camera. Definitely not the case. We should have, as soon as we seen the first bed, we should have backed out. But we went on, we found a second bed. I'm assuming the second bed is where we probably jumped her. And when you jump a deer, they can go a long ways. And the proof's right here. But not the way you want to find it, but if you bow hunt long enough, it's bound to happen. I guess it's one way to feed the rest of the critters in the woods right now, but there ain't nothing to save here.
You want a site that's built to last, has been proven, has a lifetime warranty, and is made right here in the USA. HHA makes sites for all archers, all skill levels, and for all users. Whether you're flinging arrows in the backyard or going on the trip of a lifetime, trust isn't built overnight. It's built by being #1 for decades. HHA.
January 12th. We're here in Oklahoma. It is our second night, third sit. Last night we sat on the north end of the property. We were able to shoot that buck. Shot a doe. Fortunately, we had to leave her overnight, and we found her this morning. So the coyotes kind of leaves a sour taste in your mouth. And I told Ross, I said, we're not ending a season on that note. So we're hunting again tonight. The landowner actually asked for a deer for his father, so we're gonna try to get a deer for him tonight. We're sitting where we sat this morning. We did see 4 does and fawns this morning. Just didn't come out and give me the shot I was looking for, so we just watched them work off. Same spot tonight. Wind's good. Tucked up here in a bear net, and got probably 2 hours, 2.5 hours till dark. See if we can't get some more venison.
Well, that's a wrap here in Oklahoma. I was able to shoot 2 big adult does tonight. Landowner asked for some meat for him and his dad. One of them for sure is going to him. I'm gonna offer him up the second one, but if he don't want it, I'll gladly take it. Can't ever have too much deer meat in the freezer. But heck of a trip. We were only here for hunting for 24 hours, 3 sits, and we're able to knock down a buck. Actually 3 does. Unfortunately, we didn't recover that one, but hell of a trip. Huge shout out to the landowner for letting me come down and chase these deer, and I can't say thanks enough. And
huge shout out to Ross, Hayden, Isaac. They've all traveled down here at some point since I got permission on this piece, whether it was helping feed, hang stands, Ross here filming today. So huge shout out to those guys. Hell of a season, hell of a 2-day stretch here in Oklahoma, and we're in the deer season on a high note. Very thankful.